What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to I Shot 'Em 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host, creator, and proprietor of the channel, Marcus. It is really good to be back here with you guys and see all your faces in the chat and stuff. Many of you guys know, the last couple weeks have been super, super rough for me. Really dealing with a deep personal loss. Sure some of you guys know, I lost my niece a couple weeks ago, my youngest niece, and it has been super, super rough, and just slowly trying to work my way back here, to get back to some content and to, take my mind off the pain and stuff like that. So I'm excited to be back here with you guys tonight, even if it kind of doesn't look like I am. I truly am, and I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys that has reached out over the last couple weeks and sent your condolences and sent your love, and more importantly, your understanding that, I had to take this time away from streaming and doing some content because, this is real life, and stuff like that. So I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys who have stuck with me through this process. And I will say, and I put it in a pinned message and I wrote it in the chats here a few minutes ago, I am doing a super chat goal tonight, but it's going to be different. It's not going to be the traditional way that we usually send super chats here into the channel. Instead of sending your super chats here into YouTube, into the channel, send your super chats. If you want to send a super chat, it's totally up to you. The ball is in your court. If you want to send a super chat tonight, send it to the PayPal link that I have in the pinned message. If one of my mods, Val or Shannon, any one of you guys can do me a favor and put that PayPal link in the chat throughout the stream and be appreciated. But every super chat that I get tonight is going to basically go directly to my sister to help her through this difficult time and stuff. So if you can send whatever super chats that you want to send in to my PayPal link, it would be greatly appreciated. And if we hit the goal of 10 PayPal payments / super chat payments into PayPal, then what I will do is tomorrow I will do a double watch party, one in the evening and then one later at night around this time, of a movie or whatever movie of you guys is choosing. I'll set up the voting polls, after this stream and stuff like that, so you guys can get your votes in on what two movies you guys would be interested in watching tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. So, but again, guys, the ball's in your court. If you can't do it, it's understandable. I'm just super happy to be back here with you guys tonight and talk some horror movies. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 trailer number 2. We're going to be discussing some theories and stuff based on what we've watched in that trailer. And also the Strangers Chapter 2 trailer. We're going to be discussing that as well. I'm sure many of you guys have seen those trailers. If you haven't, definitely go check them out now and then come back here to the stream and share your thoughts and your opinions and let me know and let us know what you guys are thinking. Always love to hear from you guys. So before I do have my guest comes in, I am going to have Dom and Destin here on the panel tonight with me. I think Dom dropped. I'll have to wait for him to come back in, but Destin is going to be a few minutes late, so we're going to wait for him to kind of get things cooking. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out you guys here in the comment section, say hello to you guys, and slowly but surely get this stream, rolling and stuff like that. And then, like I said, once Destin and Dom come backstage and stuff, that's when we're really going to get the conversation and the theories and predictions cooking. So how we're going to do this is for about 45 minutes, we're going to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer, share our thoughts and opinions on trailer number 2 and what we've seen in the TV spots as well. And then we're going to transition for another 45 minutes and talk about Strangers Chapter 2 and that trailer and what we think is going to happen in the movie based on what we've seen in the trailer, and as well as just share our overall thoughts on the trailers itself. What we feel about the trailers. Were they good trailers? Did they give away too much? So on and so forth. You guys know the drill. So again, I'm super happy to be back here with you guys tonight. I greatly appreciate all of you guys. I love every single one of you, especially for sticking it out with me here through this difficult time. It has truly been difficult, and I don't even think words can express my gratitude to you all. So again, thank you all for being here, and let's get to it. So I know I'm a little bit behind in the chat. I know we had some chats leading into the stream starting. So just give me a second and we got this. Let me see if Dom's still back here. I'm waiting for Dom to come back. I guess I don't know if he's having internet issues or whatnot, but hopefully he can come back in. I know DJ had commented earlier, but just to say what's up, what's going on, DJ? You know that's our DJ. DJ saying, and I'm not even an unknown comic, huh? I wonder what that conversation was like. StreamYard's only showing me a certain select amount of comments from before the stream started. And of course, we got Val, the general. What's going on, Val? You know, I love to see you here as always. Saying, DJ, you always make me smile. That's awesome. That's why I love this community. We have such a great time together, and we, you know, show so much love and, you know, gratitude towards each other here in these chats. And that's how I want to keep it here in this community. I always want you guys to come here and have a great time and a great conversation. Val saying, I loved watching the Gong Show. Huh? I've never heard of that. King Matthew III, what's going on? Hope you're having a great night. Saying what's up to Val. Talking Star Wars, Shannon. That's funny. Saying currently eating a chocolate chip cookie while waiting for the stream. Awesome. Oh, man. I am going to zoom up here a little bit through the chat so I can catch up with you guys because I know I'm a little bit behind. Let's see. And yes, to answer your question earlier, Val, I did send Dom a link. I'm just waiting for him to come back in. He was backstage before the stream started. I don't know if he's running into internet issues or whatnot. I'm sure he'll let me know here. Oh, well, here we go. There we go. All right. So Dom is back. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Sorry, I lost connection, man.
I kind of figured it was something with the internet. You're good.
Yeah, man. Well, it's good to be back, man. You know, we're talking some horror stuff, you know, and I know what you did last summer, and you know, Stranger stuff. You know, that's
man.
cool.
Yeah, I think both of these trailers were really, really good, and I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to, you know, talk to you and Destin about it and see what you guys feel about it, as well as everybody else in the chat. I am so interested to hear everybody's theories on what they think is going to happen, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, because there's a lot to chew on for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just scroll up here to when the stream started. If I skip over your message, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to catch up because I know I'm like super behind. Hey, what's up, Paula? Hope you're having a great night. Always glad to see you here. I don't know if I passed it. Here we go. What's up, Quentin? Quentin Gilmore in the chat. What's going on? Glad to see you here, buddy. Thank you for showing up. Greatly appreciate it. Shannon saying thoughts and prayers, Ghosty. Thank you so much for that, Shannon. I greatly appreciate it. Honestly, it means a lot. And Val dropping a Leanna in the chat. Yes, thank you so much, Val. That was my niece's name, you know, Leanna. And thank you guys for showing your love and your support and your condolences. It really means a lot. You know, just gotta take it one day at a time. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
What's up, Coop? Glad to see you here, buddy. Coop saying, yo, 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 what's up? Hope you're having a great night. What's up, Byron? Byron Weaver in the chat saying hi. What's up, buddy? I hope you're having a great night. And yeah, I just wanted to let you know, Byron, that I am going to get back to you tomorrow. I seen that you messaged me on Instagram and stuff. So I'm going to check out your messages and stuff, and we'll talk, buddy, for sure. Thank you so much for that, Val. So I will say this here again, guys. If you guys haven't seen the pinned message, any super chats that we get tonight, there is a super chat goal in place. but we're not doing it the traditional way. I'm actually, all super chats I would like sent to my PayPal link, because whatever I raise tonight on super chats, I'm going to send that directly to my sister. So, that helps her out, during this difficult time with, stuff she might need and stuff like that. So just trying to, be a big brother and help her out any way that I can. So, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you do send in a super chat payment to PayPal, I'm pretty sure that they give you like a bunch of like letters in the, note section that you can leave your theory or your comment in there. If not, or if it's too difficult, to figure out, what you do is, if you do send in a PayPal super chat, then what you do is in the chat, say sent, and then besides sent, you send in your theory or whatever message that you had that you wanted to attach to that payment and stuff like that. So, again, Val, thank you so much for sharing the link. And I know it's a little bit awkward. It's weird because that's not how traditionally we do the super chat goals and stuff like that. But just tonight, that's just how it's going to be. And like I said at the top of the stream, if we hit the goal of 10 PayPal payments / super chat payments through PayPal, then I will do 2 watch parties of whatever films you guys want to watch tomorrow. One in the evening around 6:30 Eastern time. And then the second one will be around this time. I'll probably say 11 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, after we get done with Stream Talk over on Destin's channel and stuff like that. So basically, if we hit the goal, you guys get 2 watch parties of your choosing tomorrow and stuff. And I will be keeping an eye on PayPal and stuff throughout the night. If I don't get to it right away, please, just bear with me, because this is like a new setup for me too. So I got to pay attention to that, plus pay attention to the chat, plus also have the conversation. So just bear with me. If you do send in a super chat to PayPal, I will get to your theory. I will get to your message and all that. And I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys for being understanding. Here we go. Shannon saying Damalama Ding Dong. That's right. We got our boy here. That's right. And honestly, like, I thank you, Val, for reminding me and stuff like that, because me and Destin were just like basically talking about doing an impromptu live stream, talking about this stuff tonight or whatnot. And Val, because when your brain is so cluttered, you got so many other stuff on your mind. Val reminded me to send a link to Dom. So thank you so much for that, Val, because I definitely would love, Dom to be a part of this stream as well, because I'm interested to see what he thinks about these trailers also. Oh, yeah, King Matthew III saying, I didn't even know they was making a new Strangers film. The only Strangers film I've seen is Strangers Pray at Night. Oh, okay. That's a good film. I will say, King Matthew, if you're interested in watching Strangers Chapter 2, watch Strangers Chapter 1 first. I know a lot of people give it flack because they say it's too identical to the original one. Me personally, I don't mind it. The way I look at Strangers Chapter 1, it's the setup for what we're going to see in Strangers Chapter 2 and Strangers Chapter 3. And I think with the Strangers Chapter 2 trailer, I definitely think that Strangers Chapter 2 is going to be a better film than Chapter 1. I just got this feeling. I think this is going to be really, really good. And it's going to lead us into Chapter 3, wanting to see how they're going to finish this story. Hey, what's up, Tristan? Glad to see you here tonight. I hope you're having a great night. Thank you for joining the stream. Hey, what's up, Leonia? Leonia Chanel in the chat saying, I'm just hopping in to say, hey, I hope everyone is enjoying their night. Thank you so much for that, Leonia. I greatly appreciate you stopping in. And if you can end up hanging out, drop some of your theories in the chat. If not, it's okay. I'm sure I'll catch you on a later live stream and we'll definitely discuss some of these theories, because I'm interested to see what you think about Strangers Chapter 2 trailer, as well as the I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 trailer number 2, and the TV spots for I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're going to talk about those here too, because there's definitely some interesting bits in those TV spots that we didn't get in the first two trailers.
Hell yeah.
Paula's saying, I haven't seen the Strangers trailer yet. Well, Paula, if you would like, do me a favor, hop out of the stream, pull up the Strangers Chapter 2 trailer, give it a watch, and then come back into the stream and let us know what you think. I think you'll like that trailer, Paula. Go check it out. It's really good. It's really, really good. I'll say this before we get into everything. It is giving me Halloween 2 vibes, and I love it. And I'm not talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I'm talking about the original Halloween 2. Thank you for that, Val. Yeah, Tristan. Yeah, just going through a difficult time and stuff like that, and basically, like I said, the crux of me doing the super chat payments to PayPal tonight is so I can use whatever I raise tonight to send directly to my sister so it can help her out with whatever she may need and stuff like that. Because if we just do it the traditional way of sending it in through YouTube, I won't be able to get her that until next month and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing things this way tonight in regards to PayPal and stuff like that. What's up, Oliver? Glad to see you here, buddy. Saying good evening, folks. I won't be here long. I'm glad you're back, Marcus. I'll catch the replay tomorrow. Awesome. Thank you for that, Oliver. And I'm always glad to see you here, man. And thank you for reaching out and stuff like that. I got to send you my phone number so that we could talk, off of Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah, thank you for that, Tristan. Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, a very, very difficult time, and stuff like that, one day at a time. That's all I can really say. What's up, Patrick? Have Cheetah will view saying, I have Cheetah. Awesome. Glad to see you here, Patrick. And to answer, I'm going to send you a message on Facebook anyway, Patrick, but the 9th of July works for me in regards to rescheduling for me to come on your channel. That works. Val saying, Paula, you got me hooked on snacking on Cheerios now. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Hey, I give it to y'all. I can't snack on regular Cheerios. I gotta have the Honey Nut Cheerios or the like multi-grain, the different colors, you know what I mean? Stuff just regular. I can only eat regular Cheerios if I basically put it in a bowl and put sugar, coat that bad boy with sugar, sweeten it up, and eat it that way. I can't eat it regular. It's just too plain for me. I just can't do it. But hey, if y'all enjoy it, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yo, what's up, a troll Campbell in the chat? One of my loyal subscribers and members. And I also want to say this as well. I have some members only content in the works. We're going to knock out some members only stuff next week. You know what I mean? Before the month hits up. So I got about 3 or 4 live streams in mind in regards to what I want to do for members only content. And I will also say this, because Val, pitched this idea to me, and I absolutely love the idea. Before the month's up, it'll probably be the last day of June if it works out that way. But we're going to be doing a game night here on the channel. And Val, she has created a game night scenario that is awesome, and I can't wait to bring it here on the channel and play with you guys. It's just going to be a lot of fun. But glad to see you here, Troll. Thank you for stopping in. Saying, let's get spooky. Yes, and I'm glad to see you too, buddy. I miss all you guys, and stuff. But again, I appreciate every single one of you guys, showing your support and respecting, my privacy and giving me time to grieve and heal through this difficult time. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, man. And by the way, sorry that I'm eating because I haven't ate all day.
Bro, you go ahead, man. You
I
do
was
your
just
thing.
like-
I don't discriminate. There's been plenty of times I fucking bust out a snack here on a stream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all good. You're good, man. Coop saying, I hope you're having a good night. Sending out my condolences. Wish I could donate, but I'm currently short on cash. Hey, you're good, Coop. I greatly appreciate you stopping in, showing support, and sending in your condolences. It means a lot. You're absolutely good, buddy. No problem at all. King Matthew saying, I'm sending my thoughts and prayers to you, Marcus. I know what you're going through, as I had to bury my mom a few weeks ago after she died of cancer, but I wanted to support the stream by showing up. Hey, that's what matters, King Matthew. And again, I'm so sorry to hear about your mother, because I saw that actually happened, a couple days after what happened with my niece, so we're in the same boat, buddy, and you have my thoughts and my prayers and my condolences as well. You know what I mean? I can only imagine what you're going through and stuff, and that's rough. You know what I mean? So the best piece of advice I can give to you, honestly, being in the same boat, one day at a time, man. One day at a time. It's the hurt is not going to go away, and it's not going to go away easy. You just got to take it one step at a time and one day at a time. Thank you, Paula. Saying thoughts and prayers. Absolutely. Thank you. Val saying, you're welcome, Ghosty. That's what I'm here for. You're here for everything, Val. Just you being here we need you here in this community, Val. You know what I mean? We need you here on this channel. We need you here for whatever, even if it's just to hang out. You already know you don't got a mod. You can take off whenever you want to. As long as you're here hanging out, that's what matters to me. Huh? Is the link not working? Because if so, let me know, Val, and I'll try to fix that. That's kind of weird, because that's like my direct link. Huh? Let me know. Coop saying, I think chapter 2 looks meh at best. But hey, that's just my opinion. Hey, that's right. Before we really get into it, we're waiting on Destin, to, come on a stream and stuff like that so we can get everything rolling. I personally think the trailer looks great. I'm really excited to see what Rennie Harlan has cooked up for this movie. I just have a really good feeling this is going to be better than the first chapter. And the trailer really has me hyped for that. But hey, that's your opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean? Just may not be for you, and that's okay.
So just to clarify too, I haven't seen chapter 1 of Strangers, so I only seen the first one and Pray at Night. So those are the ones I saw, but I definitely will check out chapter 1 soon to get it ready for chapter 2. But the second trailer, or the not second trailer, the chapter 2 trailer definitely has Halloween 2 vibes.
Yes, absolutely. For sure. I can't wait. I can't wait to really get into this conversation. I'm really interested to see what everybody is thinking, because I think it looks really, really good. And man, I just got high hopes for it. I think Rennie Harlan is going to surprise a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
King Matthew III saying, I think I'm going to consider checking out I'll always know what you did last summer as well. Despite the fact that it may have been bad, I'll watch it because it has Ben Willis in it, since he's connected to the originals. Yes, that is true. That's interesting that you bring that up, King Matthew, because I've decided to have the I Know What You Did Last Summer marathon that everybody super chatted. We hit that super chat goal for that I Know What You Did Last Summer stream that I had a few weeks back. I'm going to be having that marathon the Saturday before the new I Know What You Did Last Summer releases. So on July 12th, which is actually my cousin's birthday. So Saturday, July 12th, I just got to get the stream set up. That's when I'm going to be having my I Know What You Did Last Summer marathon. We're going to watch all 3 movies in one day. So it's interesting that you brought that up, King Matthew. So if you want to wait until you watch it, here on the channel, you can definitely do that, or watch it before and still come over here on the channel and watch it with us. Paul is saying, thanks, I have a better idea. We'll watch on my phone. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. Yes, absolutely. And thank you for that, Val. Yes, guys, please make sure you are shooting that like button. Smash it. Elbow drop. Ric Flair, woo that some bitch. Whatever you got to do. I greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. Tristan saying Asa German and Sam Reckner should switch roles in Scream 7. Maybe. We'll see. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see how both of their characters are going to work out in that film. Shannon saying stab the like button, kick it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, Shannon. Absolutely. Punch it. Yes, whatever you got to do. Val even saying kick it. Let's go. Kick it. Punch it. Fucking feet and fucking hands. Give it to him. Oh, man. Huh. DJ saying Val, it didn't work. I tried to choose family, but it wouldn't take it since it doesn't recognize it. That's weird. Huh. That is really, really weird. Hold on. Let me check something out real quick, guys. I don't understand why it's being weird like that. Okay, so let me try this out. That is so weird. Okay, so count. Okay, where was that before? To where? Huh. Okay, so I'm going to figure that out here in a second because I don't want to stall on the stream too much. That's weird. I don't understand why it's not working. Hold on, let me also check it out from my phone too. Maybe see if it'll work that way. I don't know. That's weird. Tristan saying, and I literally thought Strangers Chapter 2 reminded me of Halloween 2 too. Yeah, it definitely does have Halloween 2 vibes for sure. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Cheetah. Yup. Sweet. The 9th is a go. Yup. Absolutely. I can't wait to come on your channel and talk about 8 questions and have a great time. That was really cool that you had Adam Marcus on your stream the other night too. That was lit, buddy. I enjoyed that.
Dude, I met Adam Marcus. Dude, he's such a cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like he's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Tristan saying, I think the writers took inspiration from Halloween 2 for the Stranger sequel. Yeah, I definitely do. I agree with that, Tristan, for sure. Val saying it's working for me, DJ. Yeah, I don't know why it's like being funky with, DJ or if anybody else is having that problem. I'm going to check it out now real quick here from my phone and see if it like directs me to the link. I'm also going to send a message out to Destin. I hope he's all right.
Yeah. I'll send him a message too, see what's up. See what's going on.
Yeah, it's the link is working for me too, so I don't know what the issue is. That's weird. Just let me know if it's still if the issue still persists, DJ, and I'll think of something else because I also have a Cash App. If I have to put that link in there as well, then I will. DJ saying, is Strangers the same as Stranger Things? No, Strangers is basically like that was the first movie came out in 2008 and it starred Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman, and then they had a sequel with Bailey Madison in it, which is Strangers Pray at Night, and then Rennie Harlan basically decided to reboot the franchise and stuff. And Rennie Harlan is basically doing his take on what The Strangers is and that story. So chapter 1 was last year. A lot of people didn't really care for it. I didn't mind it because I understand that there's more story to tell. And that's what I was looking forward to. I didn't think that chapter 1 was going to knock anything out the park because I looked at it as an establishing ground for the rest of this, what Rennie Harlan's doing with chapter 2 and 3 and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely give Strangers a watch, DJ. If you've never seen the first one, or if you've never seen Pray at Night, if you haven't seen any of them, give them a watch. Check them out. Nice. Val saying just finished the game up last night, Ghosty. Awesome. Yes, I can't wait to get that here on the channel. I cannot wait. Oh, thank you for that, Val. Thank you for that. Yeah, because I don't know why it's not working for DJ, because when I click on the regular link that I posted, it seems to be working fine. I don't know what the issue is. Paula saying, love the trailer for The Strangers. Yeah, it was really, really good. I'm telling you, it's really good. I can't wait. Patrick's asking the Val, it's not exploding chickens. It's not exploding kittens, is it?
Huh.
Val saying, go see it worked for me. Not sure why it didn't work for DJ. Yeah, I'm not understanding what the problem is. Let me check PayPal again myself and real quick and just give it a look and see if there's any issues. Yeah, I don't think there is any. I mean, nothing has came through yet. I don't know if it's like a lag or anything, but I mean, everything seems to be working. Like when I click on the link and everything, it works. Tristan saying, do y'all think Maya will become a twist villain at the end of the film? Because the way she said she liked being stabbed gives me villain vibes. It's possible, Tristan. We're gonna talk about that here in a little bit in regards to the Strangers Chapter 2 trailer. I'm gonna send out a message to Destin because I'm a little bit worried about him. I hope he's all right and stuff. I'll say if Destin isn't in within like the next 5 minutes or whatever, then we'll just get the conversation rolling. And whenever he gets in, he'll just pick up and stuff like that where we're at. But yeah, I mean it's possible. I thought that line in the trailer was really interesting as well. It's possible. I don't see why not. I mean, that would be something different. It'd be something new. You know what I mean? If they can flip her into being from a victim to a killer, that'd be something new. I'm not against it. Shannon saying I've only seen Pray at Night. Hey, watch the original one too, Shannon. That one to me, it's a banger. Like I love both of them. I love Pray at Night and I love the original. But the original, it's a slow burn, but it's the aura. It's the aura that surrounds the movie. It's what makes it so good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
King Matthew saying, I just thought of another theory for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. What if Kayla Carla from I still know is one of the fisherman killers because there appears to be a fisherwoman in the trailer. I mean, I could see why you would say that. I just have an issue with what would be her motive. Yeah, her boyfriend did get killed in that movie, and I still know, Mackay Pfeiffer's character, but I just feel like that would be kind of a lazy motive. That's just me. I mean, it's possible. I just feel like if she's going to be the killer, it has to be more than, her getting revenge for her boyfriend that was in college and stuff, because I felt like that's something that could have happened sooner. But hey, I mean, maybe I do think that Brandy, who plays Carla, is going to be in this movie. I don't know what level or of capacity she's going to be in it, but I do expect her to be in it. And director Jennifer Caton Robinson, when asked about whether Brandy's going to be in the movie or not, she said you'll have to wait to watch the movie. So in my opinion, I think that is a clear telling that she's going to be in this movie, because I feel like if she wasn't, Jennifer would have just been like, yeah, I mean, we thought about it, so on and so forth, but it just didn't seem like it was a fit for what we're trying to do, so on and so forth. So I think that Brandy will be in this movie as Carla.
Yeah.
She could be the fisherwoman, because I definitely do think there is going to be a woman killer in this movie, and we're going to touch on that here in a little bit. So, I mean, it's possible. I just hope that if they were to do that, give us a motive that's a lot better than what I think the motive would be, which is basically getting revenge for her boyfriend being killed, and I still know. It's all right. It's all right, DJ. I don't understand what the issue is and stuff like that, but hey, you know what I mean? It's all good. It's all right. I don't know why, PayPal's being funky like that, but I can't tell you. If anything, what I'll do, like I said, once we get Destin up in here and stuff like that, I'll drop my Cash App link as well if that works better for others and stuff like that. And then if you want to send in a super chat / donation to that, then we can do that as well. DJ saying, wow, I'm surprised that the movie The Children got 98 views. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, a lot of these watch parties we've been doing has been really doing well. You know what I mean? Like, they've been doing really, really well, like exceeding expectations, like to the point that me and Destin are both like shocked, like, oh, wow, we got that amount of views for that, watch party and stuff like that. But that's a testament to you guys here in the chat, sharing the streams, crushing the like button, showing your love and support, because the more you guys do that, the more new eyeballs look at those watch parties and stuff like that, and shoot the subscribe button and shoot the like button themselves and join us here in the community. You guys play a big role in that. You guys keep liking and sharing things. Like, you guys help with the channel. So that's awesome that is about to peak over 100 views and stuff like that. That it's going to hit over 100. I'm telling you now, DJ, that's going to hit over 100 views on Destin's channel.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, because recently I did 2 live streams of video games and stuff, and those did pretty well. Like, they didn't get substantial numbers and stuff like you and Dustin have, but I still consider it like a good amount that is cool, and people are watching,
Right,
that's
absolutely. And that's what it is, man. Let me tell you something. I remember one of my first 2 Mocker Theory videos for like 3 months. That video was literally sitting at like maybe just a little over 100 views. Now that bad boy's like over 7,000 views. Sometimes the views come over time. It's not going to come at once for the most part. Sometimes you just got to let that video sit and stew, pun intended, and you'll be surprised with how many viewers you end up getting.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, I just sent a message out to Destin. We are about to get this conversation rolling and stuff, and whenever he can hop in and stuff like that, we'll just pick up from there. So so let's get started on the I know what you did last summer conversation. So what do you? All right, so Dom, what is your initial thoughts on the trailer before we get into theories and predictions? Did you enjoy the trailer? Do you think it gave away too much, or do you think it gave away enough that we can chew on some things, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen?
Yeah, I think they gave us enough to where we can think about like what type of theories we have in terms of like who's the killer, what's the premise, like who's the person that they ran over, or not ran over, but uh had purposely had driven off the cliff or whatever. I think we got enough of that, and I think we got enough of Julie and Ray in the trailer as well, and we got pretty much the synopsis. Like the main characters are finding out like, hey, like there's someone coming after us. They know what we did last summer, this and that, and it's sort of related to what happened with Julie and Ray. So they go to Julie and Ray for help, and that's kind of like the premise. Is like Julie and Ray is helping them, uh, trying to like fight back, or try to like figure out a way to defeat the fishermen in a way
Right.
where it's very like um in a way where the fishermen won't come after them anymore or something like that. So that's something that I picked up from the trailer, and I haven't really paid attention too much to like the certain like background or the certain things in the trailer. I
Right.
just went along with it, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I think both trailers, the first and the second one, but I think the second one for sure. They're both really good trailers, but that second one, it's got me so pumped for this movie. Um, they are going to be in Southport again, even though they didn't actually shoot the movie in Southport, North Carolina, like they did with the original, which I do think is a little interesting. I don't know why they didn't decide to do that. I mean, to each its own, I guess. Maybe just wanted to, add a little bit, some difference to it and just make it look like Southport, but kind of have its own flair. I think the trailer is awesome. I think it gives us just enough to chew on some things without us actually knowing, okay, this is what's going to happen for sure. And I love that. I love that they're by getting different from the original, because the original was, in a sense, it was a who done it, but we knew that the person underneath the slicker was the guy that they ran over. We knew that. They just did a good job of kind of playing off that whodunit aspect by not showing Ben Willis's face, keeping the collar above, closing his face off and stuff like that. And also the side story with Ray as Billy Blue and stuff like that. And I think with this one, this is taking on more of a slasher whodunit, kind of like in the vein of Scream, Urban Legend, which is why you can't see the killer's face at all. They got a mask on and stuff like that. And I'm not against that at all. It's like what Paula says here. Paula says, love the trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like Randy said, everyone is a suspect. And I like that they went with this direction because, in my opinion, in the first one, we knew none of them was the killer. I know they tried to make Ray seem like he was the killer, or that he had this secret, that could lead him to him being the killer. But I never thought Ray was the killer. You know what I mean? I always knew that it was the guy that they ran over, because when they throw him in the water, when they throw him in the sea, he's still alive. You know what I mean? So I already knew that it was him. We just didn't know what he really, really looked like, because when they ran him over, he had blood on his face. You really couldn't get a good shot of Moose Watson as Ben Willis. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I like this aspect that they're going with the whole everybody's a suspect. This is going to be a whodunit. The killer is masked up. You can't see their hands. You can't see their faces and stuff like that. I like it, because I'm a big fan of slasher whodunits. I love it being a mystery. I will say this. I think there's going to be a twist in regards to whoever is the Ray of this movie in regards to whoever has the secret. I do think whoever is keeping the secret will subsequently be our killer this time around. That's why I will think they will do a little switcheroo, because Ray had the secret in the original, but he didn't turn out to be a killer. I think whoever has this secret, whatever this secret is, they're going to end up being our killer in the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, or one of our killers. You know what I mean? And that's another thing I'm going to ask you about here, Dom, here in a second, once I get through some more of these chats, is what is your thoughts on there being multiple killers, in this movie? But before you answer that, let me get to some more chats here. I want to catch up with everybody real quick. Tristan saying, could you at least guess what day you're going to do that thing for me? But Tristan, like I said in TikTok, I got so much backed up right now. I can't give you or guess to give you an exact date. Like when I get to it, that's when I get to it. I'm not trying to sound rude or anything. I have other things to do here on the channel that we have already established and stuff. And because I wasn't here last week, because of everything going on, I have to get those obligations fulfilled because everybody paid into that, for super chat goals, like the Saw watch parties and stuff like that. So once I can get to your Scream Theory video that you want me to touch on, I will do that. Just please bear with me. I can't give you an exact date, or I can't guess. I have too much backed up right now. Oh, that's no bueno. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, DJ, is we're gonna try Cash App. And if Cash App doesn't work, then I'll just say send it in here through the channel or whatever. We'll just do it the traditional way. And whenever, I, get paid off of YouTube or my check or whatever and stuff from working and stuff, I will just, give my sister money out of that and stuff like that and stuff. Just give me a second here because I want to catch up with everybody in the chat and all that stuff. And I do also want to check up on Destin because I'm really, really getting worried. Oh, okay, cool. Destin saying he's about to come join us now. All right, cool. Whew. I was getting worried about my boy, bro. Like, because you know what I mean. Like, I was getting a little worried because it was a little bit longer than what he even expected, I think, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's all right and he's going to be here in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Val saying, oh, damn, just watched The Strangers Chapter 2. Definitely Halloween 2 vibes. Another freaking empty hospital, right, Val? Right? Oh, I can't wait till we get to that discussion because there's a particular scene that I am so excited for that I want to get you guys' opinion on. Can't wait. Yep. Paul is saying I got Halloween 2 vibes as well. Yes, absolutely. DJ saying never saw Strangers, but did see all 4 seasons of Stranger Things. Yeah, that's something I got to catch up on as well. And stuff. I got to catch up on Stranger Things. I've never watched that. But definitely when you have time, DJ, check out The Strangers. The first 2 are really good. Strangers Chapter 1, it is mid, but I feel like if you go into it knowing that there's more story to be told in the later chapters, it's not as bad as everybody, says it is. It really isn't, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Milken? Thank you for joining us. Saying, can I ask, what do you think about the recent Saw news? I don't know if anything has came out since I've been gone, this last week. The only thing I know about is basically Atomic Monster and Blumhouse bought the rights to Saw and stuff like that. That's where I left off at. So if anything new has come out, I'm gonna have to do my homework and then give you an answer and stuff like that. I don't know anything else because I've been out the last week and stuff like that, going through some personal things and stuff. So I'll take a look at the most recent Saw news if that's not what you're talking about in regards to them, Blumhouse buying the rights. And whatever this recent Saw news is, I'll give you an answer here in the coming days and stuff like that. Whenever we do another horror movie related live stream and stuff like that, touching on multiple topics and stuff. Shannon saying one of my celebrity crushes is in Pray at Night. Oh, spill the tea, girl. You might as well spill the tea. And ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody knocking at the door. He really needs no introduction, but he's always going to get one because you guys know he is my brother from another mother. And on top of that, he is the governor of Springwood, trying to take down Freddy Krueger any fucking chance that he gets. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the panel my brother, Destin from Destination Station. What's going on, bro?
Welcome to prime time, bitch. Anyway, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late.
No, you're good, man. I was getting worried about you a little bit and stuff, but I'm glad you're here.
Well, for one, I couldn't find my earpieces.
Oh, no.
And my computer was kind of blinking and wouldn't come on, so it took me a minute to get that figured out. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, what's going on here? And I couldn't get the screen to come on or anything. I don't know. It had a mind of its own, but I'm here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. Fuck, bro. I don't know if that blinking of the computer did something, but that shit got your shit going like super fast. Like
it's going super fast.
Not like it's like a distraction or anything. Like it seems like your shit is like it's fucking great. Like the quality, your background, everything. I don't know what it is. It just kind of looks like more upgraded.
It might be the frames per second. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it did do something. Maybe it turned on. I don't know.
Let me ask you. Did you get a new light in there?
I did not. It has different shades. That might be it.
Oh well, that fucking shade that you're using right now, keep using it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. It's a different shade. That was another thing. I had to bring my light in here because I had my other setup out in the office, and
right.
It always messed me up. I just need to buy 2 of everything. So I have everything at this location and then everything at my other location. So I don't have to keep moving shit around and losing my headpieces. So anyways, where are we at? Okay,
we basically just started getting on the conversation of the I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer. We just basically gave our thoughts about the trailer, like how we felt about it. Did it give away too much, or did it just give enough to where we have stuff to chew on, but we still don't know what the hell is going to happen? So I'll present that question to you as well before we move on to this idea of multiple killers being in the movie, and then we're going to discuss certain, scene topics from the trailers and stuff like that, and then we'll transition into strangers. Like, I know some people have some strangers questions here in the chat, and I will answer them here in a little bit and stuff like that. But we're basically going to be rotating between the two.
Okay, sounds good. So y'all are still on I Know What You Did Last Summer, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I just got to see both of those trailers on the big screen in front of Megan 2.0 that I just got out of. So I was able to see that Strangers 2 trailer on the big screen. Like I know we were discussing it earlier, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, this is nice. This is nice."
Yeah, bro. It looks really, really good. So in regards to the I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer, what is your takeaway from it? Do you think it gave away too much? Did you enjoy it? And if it didn't give away too much, did it give you enough to chew on, but you still don't know if it's going to play out maybe the way you feel it could play out based on what we see?
Honestly, I don't feel like it gave away too much. I think it gave away just enough because I'm already still picking up on clues that I missed even after I made that video.
Right.
That just dropped. I already have some more thoughts so I'm going to be making another video because I've already picked up on some other stuff. I think it elevated it actually. Now, the one theory that we've talked about and that it's on my mind, it may have given away too much in regards to that if it plays out like that. But if there's another layer to that situation, or maybe a second killer or something like that with a different motive, I'm okay with that. It's like, okay, one obvious and then one not so obvious that's going to trick us. I'm cool with that. I actually think they did a hell of a job with that second trailer. I think it made it so much better. I think that, and I hate to say this because Scream's my jam, but I feel like that they're doing a better job as far as like, I don't know if fan service is the word, but like I feel like they're doing a better job at like making it feel like I Know What You Did Last Summer again, and making a really good story than when Scream came back for Scream 5 and it was supposed to be in
Right.
Woodsboro. I feel like this is feels like I Know What You Did Last Summer than Scream 5 felt like Scream, as far as like locations and the story and all that. So, man, dude, I'm so excited for this movie. I can't wait. I keep checking to see if there's going to be an early screening for I Know What You Did Last Summer because I'm going to jump on it immediately. But man, July 18th can't get here soon enough. I'm stoked.
You're telling me about it, bro. And real quick before we do move on, I do want to point this out because I'm doing things a little bit different tonight in regards to the super chat goals, but I might just say do it traditionally. I am going to put my Cash App link in the chat here in a second, but we do have a super chat on PayPal from Chris Janke for $3.25. I don't know if you have a message that you wanted to send with that, Chris, or if that was like somebody else here in the chat and it basically is under a different name. But if you do have a theory or a message that you want to push with that you didn't get to write here on PayPal, hit me up in the chat and let me know. Basically put sent and then put your comment beside it, your theory, whatever, and stuff like that. But I greatly appreciate, the support and stuff like that. It is greatly appreciated and stuff. Thank you for your $3.25 PayPal payment. It's, it means a lot because like I said at the beginning of the stream, the reason why I decided to do this like whole PayPal thing, and also when I'm going to put my Cash App in the chat, is because the money raised on Super Chats tonight, I'm going to send that to my sister to help her out through this difficult time that she's going through and stuff like that. But because it is difficult for some people to send on PayPal and stuff like that, we also have another Super Chat here coming in from our good friend, Talking Star Wars, aka Shannon Gates C. Thank you so much for your $6.99 super chat, Shannon. I greatly appreciate you. Saying, I'm going to sleep, but do you think we will see any survivors from Prey at Night and the first movie? Ooh, that's really, really interesting. So I'll start off with you, Destin, on that real quick, because I know Shannon's going to get to sleep, so I want to answer this question as fast as we can. I'm going to start with Destin, then we'll go to Dom, and then they'll kick it back to me. So what are your thoughts, Destin? Will we see any characters, any survivors from the original Strangers film and Prey at Night show up in Chapter 2 or even Chapter 3 eventually?
That's very interesting. That never even crossed my mind. And as much as I do want that, I don't think they're going to do it. I think this is a reimagining. I think this is a retelling. It just still doesn't it doesn't feel like that, like unless the movie ends, if Strangers Chapter 3 ends where the very first one began, like maybe something like that. But as far as like the characters from those movies showing up and being involved, or even like even from Prey at Night, I don't think so. Definitely not Prey at Night, and I do like that movie. The only thing I could see happening is maybe it ending with where the first one began or something, like in this whole entire time this was like
Ooh, that's interesting.
yeah. I think maybe something like that. They could tie that in. It might not even be the original idea, and they might think about it last minute and be like, "Let's do this." You know, the fans
Right.
will like this. This will be a good send off note. But yeah, my first initial thought though is no, they're not going to do that. But I would like to see it. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Man, I like that idea of maybe chapter 3. Whatever happens in the end of that leads into the original Strangers. I think that would be really, really cool. That would be sharp. That would be really, really sharp. I think that would be a wonderful tie-in. Fantastic. Dom, what are you thinking, buddy?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm about to say you've seen Strangers, right? Or no?
I've seen the first original Strangers,
Okay.
and I've seen Pray at Night.
Okay. Cool.
So I haven't seen chapter 1. So that's a film I need to get to watching. But I believe if this is something I actually was thinking about when Destin said it. I was like, oh, maybe like if at the end of chapter 3 they tie it into the original, kind of like what they did with Final Destination 5, is that they tied it into the original.
Yeah.
And they showed the beginning of the first movie happening, and then it cuts or whatever. And that would be kind of crazy, and like be like, oh shit, it's the first one. you
Right.
know so
Right.
that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think it would be just, even if it's something subtle, like the strangers like pull up to that same exact house, and it's like they can see Liv Tyler and her fiance or whatever get out the car and go inside, like they're just watching them from afar, and that's it. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the original house, and then just like knock knock, is Tamara there? Like it
Right.
from the girl's perspective, from the stranger's perspective.
Yeah,
Boom.
I like that. I mean, I personally wouldn't mind them doing that. You know what I mean? I actually would rather them tie the original in instead of Pray at Night. I think Pray at Night's characters in that movie kind of stand out well on its own and stuff. And I think if they were to do that, it would kind of wonky, the timeline of events. Because one thing about The Strangers Chapter 1 is that this is basically kind of like the beginning of the Strangers and their journey and their legacy. At least that's how I took it. You know what I mean? So I would think that the characters from Pray at Night won't exist just yet. And that if we are going to get any tie-in or callbacks to either the original Strangers or Strangers Pray at Night, they would basically tie in the original movie as like the ending of Strangers Chapter 3, like basically like how Destin said. Maybe we see, the parents in the truck watching from afar while the daughter goes up and knocks on, Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler's door, to where you see Liv Tyler like at the door, and you just hear, is Tamara home? And then the credits cut and stuff like that. I think that in regards to what they have set the foundation for Strangers Chapter 1 and 2, this would be events before the original Strangers movie. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm very heavy on that idea in regards to tying in the original movie as opposed to Pray at Night. Don't get me wrong, though. I wouldn't mind seeing Bailey Madison back in another Strangers movie. But the thing is, too, if I recall that movie correctly, the strangers, the killers, die in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. So
they die, but they come back, and they kind of take a supernatural approach at the end of it.
Okay. See, I have to rewatch that. I have to rewatch that movie. It's been a while. You know what I mean? So I kind of forget that ending a little bit and stuff like that. But I kind of was thinking that they did die in that movie. But again, I would not mind seeing Bailey Madison back. She's awesome. Yeah. And thank you again, Shannon, for your super chat. I greatly appreciate you. And I will say this real quick, guys, because of the PayPal super chat and because of Shannon's super chat, we are 8 away from the goal. Again, if we hit the goal of 10 payments tonight or whatever and stuff like that, then I will do 2 live watch parties tomorrow, one in the evening and one at night of a movie of you guys' choosing, and we'll do a voting poll, so on and so forth. You guys know how we do here and stuff. I am about to share my Cash App link in the chat, so that might be a little bit easier and stuff in regards to like sending it out, you know, how I basically put in the pinned message, because again, all the money that I get raised through PayPal or Cash App, that's going directly to my sister to help her through this difficult time and all that stuff. But if you guys can't figure that out, or if you guys don't have either one of those platforms, just send in a regular super chat how we always do, and then I'll figure out all that other stuff later.
We lost Damalama Ding Dong.
Oh, wow. We'll get him back. He was
everyone
having,
smash that like button.
yes, thank you so much, for sure. Yeah, he was having some technical difficulties a little bit earlier, so I think that's what it is. King Matthew the third saying, well, whoever the killer is at the end of the trailer, it has to be related to Julie because she looks betrayed, and she says, "What are you waiting for?" in an angry, betrayed tone. What do you think about that, Destin? Do you think that the way Julie says that line and the way she looks, it's somebody that she knows and she feels betrayed by? What are your feelings on that?
Possibly. What I think with that, and I broke this down in my video that I dropped today. I've seen TV spots of her saying it a different way.
Right.
I think that they filmed that several different ways of her like saying that her famous line.
Yes.
You know, it's like, what are you waiting for? And then there's one where she's like yelling it in the same exact location. So I think that they've done that. It might not even be in the freaking movie. She might say it somewhere else in the movie, and it might just be for marketing, you know, or we might just get a completely different version altogether. She could be betrayed. It could be Ray. It could be, you know, it might be a surprise. We might have Brandy. It might be Ben Willis back. You know, I think that would be a really cool surprise if he walks out and he's like he's been absent the entire movie, but then he walks out. Dude, I'd lose my shit. I would lose my shit. And because she's looking up a little bit like somebody a little bit taller, it looks like. A lot of these newer characters, they're a little bit shorter, except for one that we're suspecting she's kind of taller than the rest of them. And so it could be that person. Or like I said, like she could be feeling, you know, betrayed or whatever, but I think that whole entire thing is just marketing. I think that they'll probably use a completely different way that she says it. I also even mentioned, wouldn't it be crazy, because it looks like it is Ray's bar where she says it.
Yes.
And wouldn't it be crazy if, like, this movie, Julie and Ray rekindle their love for one another, and this is actually the aftermath of everything that went down. They survived, and you know, Ray's looking at her, and he's like, you know, like he's about to go in for the kiss, and like she just looks at him and is like, "What are you waiting for?" Like maybe it's a more sweeter, "What are you waiting for?"
Yeah.
You know? And we might end the movie on that note.
Oh wow. That's interesting. I will say this in response to Matthew's comment. I really don't take in too much in regards to like Julie's like expression in that scene. And the reason why I say that in regards to like her looking betrayed, I personally don't think it's a look of betrayal. I think it's a look of familiarity. You know what I mean? In regards to like this person underneath the slicker, this has basically been her life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So of course, seeing somebody in a slicker costume now with a mask without, you know, their face showing, I think that would conjure up enough emotions because of the Ben Willis, you know, situation in her past and stuff like that. I personally don't think it is Ray or anybody that's close to Julie. and stuff. I think it was Matthew earlier who had mentioned about Carla possibly being the killer and stuff, because we do know for a fact that one of these fucking killers is a female. We know that. We nip that in the bud real quick. One of these killers is a woman. We know that. Right. I just personally don't think that the motive is there for Carla. I wouldn't buy this whole it's revenge for, Mekhi Phifer's character. I think
it's forced. That's forced.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And stuff. And with Ray, I would really, really, really hope that they didn't, because in my opinion, you have a grand opportunity, in my opinion, to be different than Scream 5 and not only keep Ray's character alive, but also might get to see, like Destin said, him and Julie rekindle that romance, unlike we didn't get to see with Gail and Dewey.
Right.
And I feel like that's how you set that apart, because there's already fans saying, oh, Ray and Julie remind me of Gail and Dewey in Scream 5. And that's why Ray's going to die and stuff. They're really going to go in the Scream 5 route. I'm hoping that they swerve us and don't.
Me too.
You know what I mean? I don't want Ray to die in this movie, and I don't want him to be a killer. I don't want it to be anybody close to Julie and stuff. And I just feel like, I mean, I get it. What will Ray's motive be? Okay, he lost Julie. He lost everything, to a degree. He has his bar, but he never left Southport and stuff. But I, just like with Carla, I feel like making him a killer is forced.
It's forced.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just forced. So me personally, I don't look too much into Julie's like expression, I guess. I just think her seeing somebody in a slicker brings back so many emotions and fucks with her mental, which is why we see her act the way she does in the trailer, why she reacts and why her eyes start welling up and she might have that look of betrayal and stuff. I just think it's a look like a familiarity, like, fuck, I got to deal with this shit again.
Right.
And stuff like that. But hey,
I would like. Go ahead. My bad.
No, I just want to say, hey, maybe it could be somebody that she knows that she feels betrayed by. It could be. They definitely could go in that direction. Me personally, I just hope they don't.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know all the characters that's been revealed here. She might have somebody she works with that's a really close friend to her. That,
right.
We don't know if that person could be betraying her or something. It could be a completely different character. I don't think it's Ray though. I think it could be Ben Willis. I think that'd be kind of cool if he was still alive. But I kind of want with the way this movie's going and with the second one already being greenlit, I kind of want it to like most of the newer cast get killed and we turn into the next one with the more Ray and Julie story and Carla, possibly like Carla comes in at the end, like throws in her bags and it's like, where we going, girl? Or something like that, and it's like, that's how it ends on kind of a happy note, but then there's like still like a cliffhanger, like they're going on another trip. Maybe they're going on a cruise. That'd be cool. Seeing the hook killer on a cruise,
Right. Hey, Dom, since you're back or whatever, what do you think about King Matthew's comment in regards to the killer possibly being somebody that Julie is close to or knows very well, which is why she looks the way she does in the trailer? What are your thoughts about that?
I think that it's definitely like something along the lines of it's hard to tell, to be honest with you. It's hard to tell because it could be a look of betrayal, but it can also, like you said, Marcus, be a look of um like familiarity, like you said. So it's hard to tell. Like this is what I like about this trailer is that it doesn't really tell you. It tells you a little more, but it doesn't tell you a lot. So I if I had to choose, I would say I had to agree with you, Marcus. It's probably a look of familiarity of the slicker and the fisherman,
Right.
And her dealing with her demons in her past, and that kind of is what it looks like from the end of that trailer. So yeah, that's the way I see it.
Right. Like basically seeing somebody in a slicker just conjures up those old feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great question though, Matthew. That was a great
Yeah.
question for real. I like that. I know we are super. I know I'm super behind in the chat, guys. I am going to click on some more of these comments as best as I can, and then scroll up and get caught up. So just bear with me. Shannon saying to King Matthew III, maybe she's motivating Ray to go help the new group. Huh? That's interesting because one thing we don't see when Julie is saying what she's saying in regards to what are you waiting for, we know that Chase Sui Summers' character, Ava, she's in that same bar. You know, she's in Ray's bar with Julie when that line gets spoken. At least it's implied that.
Yeah.
But then we also see another scene where we see Ray take a speedboat and jump on this other boat that's in the middle of the sea. And Ava's character is on that boat. You know what I mean? So could it be that maybe, you know, before we get that dialogue from Julie, see, that's kind of too hard to tie it in though, because we get that dialogue from Julie saying, we're not going to die today. And you see Ava's character in the corner kind of nursing a wound or whatever the fuck's wrong with her and stuff. And then at some point, the fisherman walks into Ray's bar. I'm starting to think after rewatching that trailer that the boat scene where we see Ray go on the boat and we see Ava's character there, I'm starting to think that boat scene is before we get back to Ray's bar.
I was thinking that too.
So I don't know, Shannon. Like, I feel like this, I'll say this. If we get the bar scene first before the boat scene, then I can see Julie saying that to Ray, like, what are you waiting for in regards to going to help the new group? Because now, obviously, this new group is on that boat with whoever the killer is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm starting to feel like that boat scene with Ray happens before they go back to his bar. You know, but hey, maybe that is what she's saying. I feel like, me personally, if they're going to have that line be spoken, it has to be spoken to the fisherman or the fisherwoman. I can't see Julie saying that line just to go tell Ray to help the newbies, because they're already helping the newbies, you know, and stuff like that. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But if they did it right, I guess they could tie that in. I don't know though. We'll have to see. Okay, yeah, I'm super behind in the chat because this is when I was messaging Destin and stuff like that. So I'm gonna check a couple more of these comments and then I'm gonna scroll up so I can get caught up because I'm like 33 minutes behind in the chat. King Matthew III saying, I only thought Ray was a killer because Max, who has a feud with Ray, is the first to die. Plus, when Julie finds Max's body in her car, Ray shows up suspiciously. Actually, they go to Ray in that first one, because when Julie finds Max's body with the crabs in her car, she goes directly to Helen's house where Barry and Helen are sitting, and then they go back to Julie's car, and then basically they go meet Ray at his house or wherever Ray. I can't remember if Ray went to Julie's or if he stopped at Barry's to look for them and stuff like that, but they actually went looking for Ray. Ray didn't show up suspiciously and stuff like that. Like, but yeah, they definitely did in the original try to make Ray look like he was a killer. That was kind of the whodunit aspect of the original movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. A lot of people, y'all might have talked about this earlier, but one thing that I haven't really talked upon is Anne Heche's character from the first movie. It could be something related to her.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Oh, dang. Val just said it.
Yeah, I gotta say that's interesting. Yeah, because Val's saying, I know Anne Heche is no longer with us, but if you think the killer might be a woman, what about Melissa Egan's character being the killer? That's an interesting theory right there. I mean, oh yeah, I mean, because what if Melissa found out the truth as to why Ray / Billy Blue was coming around to begin with, and pieced in together the reason why Ben went after them was because basically they ran him down, and maybe she feels a certain type of way for them getting away with, basically a crime. But then again, it's like, I would like to think that even if she did find that out, they basically helped kill and track down the guy who killed, her brother.
Yeah.
So like, man,
when I rewatch it, I'm gonna rewatch it really close.
Right, because see, that's my thing. Like, the only thing I have with that is that why would she decide to go after Julian Ray and all these new kids, unless she had kids of her own?
Yeah.
Unless she end up having kids of her own, and one of her kids is the one in that truck who gets killed.
Yeah.
It could work if they do it that way, in my opinion. That would be slick, because nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, would see that coming. Nobody would see Melissa Egan being a killer in this movie.
You know what's crazy is after rewatching it again today, that whole scene where it's the engagement party or whatever.
Yes.
That actually takes place before the accident.
What? The wedding stuff?
Yeah, that takes place before that wreck happens. If you go back and you rewatch it, they're wearing the same exact clothing that whenever they had the wreck. And then whenever it switches back, Ava's character is in a black top instead of the other, I think it was like a green top or whatever. But all the other characters were in that attire. So that engagement thing happens before the day of the wreck, I think.
See, that's interesting though, because at the beginning of the trailer, when she opens the letter, it takes it back to 2024.
Right, I know. It makes it look like that, but then it looks like it switches back and they're sitting around again, maybe another get together. I really think that get together is probably.
I know what you're talking about. I know.
I think that they're mixing the two, because I think they get back together after her fiance gets murdered.
I get what you're saying. I have to go back and rewatch that tunnel scene. I know what you're talking about, when they're all meeting in what looks like the underground building or something.
No. On the back patio of that house of the engagement party, where she's fixing to open up her letter and all that kind of stuff. I think they're playing with the camera there. I think all that stuff, them tapping on the glass, and they got a big gathering, and they're like, "Oh, can you believe our friends are getting married?" and all that kind of stuff. That all happens before the wreck. I think that happens the day of the wreck. The wreck happens later on that night. But then they're all gathered again at that same house, but they're in different attire. And I think that's where they get back together, when they realize that her fiance got killed, and they're all getting back together at that same location. Maybe they're having a memorial service or whatever. And I think they're just playing with the camera with the whole letter thing. It's weird, unless something happens the year before that event too. Go back and watch it. I'm going to point it out in another video, because man, I've been really watching it today.
I feel like that. I just feel like that'd be straight. Because my thing is this: then where is her fiance during the wreck? Like, he could be at home.
That's what I was wondering.
He could be at home, but then I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know what they're doing, but they are in the exact when they have that wreck on that cliffside. It's the same exact attire that they had at that engagement party.
Yeah, but then where's the necklace that Stevie's wearing?
I think they're back at that same location, but I think that's a completely different scene.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to go relook at that myself because I don't know, man. I'm just.
I know. I had to.
If that is the case, that's weird. Like,
I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you, dude. It is. It's weird. I've been wanting to tell you about it after I saw it. I was like, hold on. They're wearing the same exact stuff, but when they cut back to her opening that letter, they're the Ava girl's in a completely different top, and everybody else is in different attire. And I'm like, oh, so they're in this location twice, but they're making it seem like it's one big scene.
Because you're saying that Ava is basically in her green. I get what you're saying because she's in a green like dress or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though too, is we see her wearing that same green like kind of like dress at the bar with Ray when they go to meet Ray.
But Madeline Klein's character is also in that silver dress at the wreck and at that engagement party.
She is? No, now she's in like some type of fucking bikini or whatever. Like,
not at the wreck. Yeah.
No, at the wreck, she has the gown on. But at the engagement party, she's. Oh, I'm looking this now. You got me intrigued. I got to check this out now.
Yeah,
I got to. I got to. I just got to because you fuck with my mind right now, bro.
I know, dude. I'm sorry.
You're fucking with my brain right now. Hold on.
It messed with me too, man. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm watch it. Or just watch their clothing when it keeps switching back and forth from her opening the letter and that wreckage, and then it goes back to the party.
Oh shit! Oh, hold up, yo! I didn't even fucking notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is wearing the gown.
Yep.
She's wearing the gown at this event.
And then she's wearing a bikini again. You see what I'm saying? Like it's back and forth.
Yo, holy fucking shit. Yep. Yeah, and Stevie's wearing that jacket. Ava's wearing the green shit.
Yep. So instead, remember in the original, they were all hanging out at that 4th of July party out on the docks.
Yeah.
This one, I think it's going to open up them having that engagement party, and then they're leaving that and have the accident.
The only difference is, and I mean, he could have changed, he could have changed out of it, is Teddy's attire because he doesn't have the jacket on and stuff like that. And you don't see. Let's say, do you see my? Let me go back here. Okay, and Milo, he's looked like he has a white shirt on underneath, like he does at the wreckage, but he doesn't have a jacket or whatever.
Yeah, and then if you see Ava's outfit, when it goes back to her reading that letter. Like,
yeah, it's the same green outfit that she's wearing the night of the wreck.
Right. And then she's wearing a black top when she actually reads that letter. So I think this is
but that's the thing though, bro, is they even started like from July 2025 and then take it back to July 4th, 2024 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And hold on, I just caught something else. That's the thing though, too. Like if the wreckage, if her engagement party happens the same night of the wreck, why would the letter of "I know what you did last summer" be
Right.
sent?
That's why I think that it's two different scenes blended.
That's weird. I don't know, man. But it's
Because they
either
get back
that-
together. They get back together, and then she's all in a bikini, and so is Stevie, and they're sitting around that looks like an island in the kitchen, and they're like, somebody knows something or whatever because she just got that letter.
or it could be two different, completely different scenes. Because remember, and I brought this to your attention with the TV spots. Remember when Teddy, when he avoids the truck when it's swerving, he's by himself and he gets out the way. But then there's another scene where we see Milo's character and Stevie's fucking around like with the car in front of him, and Milo goes to grab him.
Right.
So it could also be two completely different scenes that they just put in the trailer to fuck with us, and one of those scenes is going to be the scene used.
Right. That's what I'm thinking, man. I think
That's interesting. I didn't even catch that she was in that fucking gown at first.
Mm-hmm.
And who's this? And that also could be, I mean, we all think that opening scene is the entire engagement party. But for all we know, when she's in the gown, that could be for them celebrating her winning the Croker pageant or something. It could be a completely different party.
That's true too. I need to go back to the beginning and see what they say. They're like, "Can you believe our friends are getting married?" What was she wearing in that?
Right. She was wearing Ava was wearing the green shit that she was the night of the crash. But Madeline Klein's character, Danica, she's in her like, her top and like a little mini skirt or whatever and shit like that. Yeah, she's not wearing a gown anymore.
Right.
But that's a hell of a catch, man. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even like pay attention to that.
Yeah, that other one where she's got the bikini on and Steve's got her bikini. It looks like maybe they're having like a pool party, another gathering or something.
Right. Yeah, there are definitely some scenes where it makes you think, okay, is this scene going to be used or is this scene going to be used?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I like that they're kind of keeping us guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just caught my eye earlier. I was like, hold on. I thought this would have taken place after the wreck, this whole engagement party thing. But then that's like, oh, this actually takes place before. But I mean, I could be wrong. They could be just toying with us with the camera work. I don't know.
I'm starting to think that scene where she's in the gown is the beginning of the movie to where they're doing some type of event for the Croker pageant. And that night they go out and that's when the wreck happens. And then we fast forward a year later to when she's getting married to somebody completely different, because they do say it has been confirmed that Teddy and Danica were an item. They're basically the new Barry and Helen of this movie.
Right.
And stuff like that. So but that's a hell of a catch, bro, because I think that opening scene where she's like, hey, everybody, or whatever, and she's in the gown, that's the fucking day, and that's the day that the wreck happens before we head into nighttime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great fucking catch, bro.
Yeah.
Great catch.
And it could be a complete, when Ava's saying, can you believe our friends are getting married? She could be talking about another group of friends or something. She might not even be talking about Madeline Klein's character. She might get married next year or engaged next year or whatever. But they might just be like toying with us there. It might be a completely different couple.
Right. Yeah, nice it might be. It might be. I mean, me personally, I think, she's fucking moving on too fast anyway, but hey, it is what it is.
Right.
My boy Teddy was not looking happy at that fucking engagement party.
Nope. Why would he be there?
Right? Tristan saying what secret? Well, the secret we were talking about in regards to like Ray was Billy Blue, the friend of David Egan, who went to go meet Melissa Egan after the events of him, Julie, Helen, and Barry hitting Ben Willis with the car. That was the big secret in the original movie, is that Ray was the one who was Billy Blue or whatever and stuff, the friend of David Egan and stuff like that, that he didn't share with the other ones in the group.
And
I know
also
I'm
too,
super behind, so I am going to scroll up here a good bit in the chat and catch up with you guys. Go ahead, Dom.
and he's also saying too, like the secret of the friend group in the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. When in the trailer they said one of us has a secret or something like that. And I
Right.
think he was also trying to say like what secret, like to that as well, because they did mention that one of them has a secret.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I think whoever has this secret this time around, they're going to turn them into the killer. You know what I mean? I think that they're going to use whoever has this secret. They're going to actually go with them as the killer or one of the killers in this movie. I don't know why I feel that way. I feel that way because they did it in the original, but they didn't pull the trigger with Ray being a killer.
Right.
I think this time they're going to pull that trigger just to kind of switch that around and get different. Excuse me. Val saying, and in the Strangers trailer, it also gave me Halloween 6 vibes as well with the underground tunnel. Yeah, so we are going to touch on this and stuff like that because, like I said, we'll be rotating between the two. What do you make of that underground tunnel? And I'll start with you, Dom. You've seen the trailer, right, Dom?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
What do you make of that underground tunnel where we see Madelainepetsch's character, Maya, and she sees the man in the mask at the end of that tunnel, and he starts fucking hawking her the fuck down on some Jason from 2009 shit. Like, bro, I love that scene. I love it so much, but I also agree with Val. It definitely does give you Halloween 6 vibes. What do you think about that, Dom? Did it give you Halloween 6 Person Michael Myers vibes?
Definitely. And you can also say it also gives you a little bit of Halloween 2 vibes as well, because Lori was underground somewhere under the hospital. So it also resonates with that as well. But also, yeah, Halloween 6 vibes too, because of the underground tunnel they're running through and all that in that movie. And the fact that I've never been so terrified of a killer running, because I always see, you always see killers running in movies, and it's not it's scary, but it's not like terrifying.
Right.
That was terrifying. Like the way that he was running at her, it was just like, oh shit, like this guy means business. Like
Yeah,
he's
he ain't
not.
playing no games. And how about over the intercom? Is Tamara home? Or is Tamara here?
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Was really, really cool. Like I like that, switch it up and stuff like that. That was sick. I absolutely love it. But again, yeah, like so I think for you too, Destin, did that give you Halloween 6 vibes, with the underground tunnel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the first thing that came into my mind. And that was the second time I watched it today, and I'm going to watch it again because I really want to break down this and make some videos on it, some theories.
Yep.
I loved it. I love it whenever the guy starts running after her like that, And then I love like them saying it over the intercom. However, something gives me the impression that might be a dream sequence. She might wake up in her bed freaking out and everything. You know what I mean? Kind of like how they did what was it, Halloween 2? Like
Rob Zombies.
Yeah, dude. I kind of was like, man, are they gonna do that here? Like
I really hope they don't.
I hope they don't either.
Well, I will say this, and I think I don't think I'm wrong when I say this. I think that you do get a scene in the woods where she is wearing her hospital gown and stuff. So I think that it's a chance, and I really, really hope it's not a dream sequence. But I think there's a chance that it's not a dream sequence, and we're actually going to get that chase scene, and that's what's going to lead her into the woods and being picked up on the side of the road by whoever these fucking people are. We're going to touch on that too and stuff like that. Whoever these people are with the smiley faces on their neck and stuff like that, I think that hospital attack is what leads into those events.
Right. Yeah. I'm hoping so. That's what I want. It's just, I tried to like, what's the other scenario that it could go? Because, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to like bring it down or nothing like that at all, because I want it to be what I want it to be. But it's just, something gave me like, especially whenever she said, "Is Tamara home?" over the intercom, it kind of made me think, is this going to be like a dream, like a little dream sequence? I mean, we might still get both. I mean, that might be a dream part of it, showing a bunch of people dead and her getting chased around, and then they still show up, you know, like
right.
It could be both. But yeah, I know that she gets stabbed and she ends up in the woods in her gown. So yeah, we're definitely going to get something of her getting chased out there.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I can't wait, man. Those scenes in the trailer really got me intrigued, and I think this chapter 2 is going to be better than chapter 1. Like I said, I went into chapter 1 expecting that it wasn't going to be the best per se, because I knew this is a 3-part story. You know what I mean? We all did and stuff. So I was expecting that. I'm like, okay, the first one's probably going to be the tone setter. Then when we get to the second one, that's when shit's going to go balls to the wall. And that's what I think it is, man. It looks so good. So good.
It does.
Paul is saying one stranger is definitely a teenager. Yeah, I'll say a teenager, or at least early 20s. I can see that.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going into like a whodunit aspect more in this one, because it does imply like the people that pick her up is like the strangers. But what if it turns around that they're just part of the survivors and they're actually getting killed too?
Right. It's interesting you brought that up, because I kind of feel like those, people, that I first off, I think when she's like seeing the smiley faces on their neck, and I'll have to go back in the trailer and really look, but I think that that's her hallucinating.
Yeah.
And stuff. But I will say that whoever these people are that pick her up on the side of the road, and, the town folk that are helping her, I think they could potentially be family members of victims that have been killed by the strangers. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I just definitely got those vibes, and I think that would be interesting. You know what I mean? I think that would be really, really intriguing. Really intriguing. King Matthew is saying she had the same expression when Will betrayed her at the end of I Still Know as well. So maybe Benson somehow returns. Maybe. I'm gonna head to the bathroom real quick. Destin, you go ahead and share your thoughts on King Matthew's comment.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't really be mad about Will Benson. I just think it's lackluster. It worked for that movie, but to do that twist again in the next one, I don't know. I don't know if it'll hit the same. I would much rather it be Ben Willis. I'd rather it be his dad, because he's the official one. He's the creepy one. But it's possible. It's definitely possible that it's Will Benson. I can't remember his real name, because that couldn't have been his real name. That was just like his stage name. What's your real name? Not your stripper name.
Oh.
Anyways, sorry, y'all heard all that. Your turn.
What's your real name? Not your stripper name. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I'll respond to this real quick. I feel like this. Unless it's Ben Willis, or somebody else, I'll get to that somebody else here in a second. I like Will Benson. I like Will Benson a lot, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I thought that twist was fucking fantastic. Matthew Settle was awesome. What's your favorite radio station, Julie? I thought he absolutely slayed that role.
Yeah.
I just don't see no reason for him to return in this one. Like, I can get it. I understand, Matthew, what you mean in regards to like her expression. It seems very, very familiar. But we also have to keep in mind there are going to be certain dialogue and certain expressions that they have her use and do to make it to kind of pay homage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, I don't know. And I could be way off. I just don't think whoever this killer is going to have any real tie to Julie. You know what I mean? I there's only one person that I believe that could be. And I'll just say it right now. It could be fucking Helen Shivers. How? Why? They pulled this shit off if they do go in this direction. I don't know how they're going to do it. I hope if they do it, and if that's what they're doing, you make this shit make sense. Because in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, she's dead.
Me too.
You know, and I get it. The dummies that they used for her and Barry's bodies in the original aren't convincing that it's Helen Shivers or Barry.
They're wearing the outfits.
They're wearing the outfits. And I also would say, why would Ben Willis keep her alive? Why? Why would he keep her alive? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it does look like he has a sex dungeon in this one.
Right?
I'm kidding.
No, look, there's that layer, that whatever that is, especially with the gate, that's interesting.
Yeah, that looks like he's like somebody's gonna be held captive down there.
I think that you're right with that, bro. And I'm personally thinking it's that mannequin figure that looks like it could be a mannequin. I really do. Mm-hmm. I don't. And some will say, "Oh, well, how come it stays still?" For all we know, they could be hooked up to something that they can't move.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely do. Yeah, I do think that there's going to be a layer to where we see somebody being held captive, or they could be putting the bodies in there, or a specific body.
Right.
You know, and stuff like that. So, I mean, hey, again, could it be somebody close to her? I do, to a degree, but I feel like this. If you're going to have it, one of the killers be somebody close to Julie, then why add all these new characters? We should have just made this a Julie James movie.
Well, you know, it makes me think, well, second thought, maybe not, but how Ava's character gets captured with that trap, it makes me think that like she gets put into that cage afterwards. Like maybe she's the one that's held captive. But then you see her find that person's dead body hanging with the boots. So I'm like, all right, well, she definitely gets out of it.
Right.
But that could be the very end, you know. It could be the killer might already be revealed. We see like wiping off the knife, but their hat might be off. And it might be your bait. And it might be the killer actually putting Ava down there and just being like, oh, they'll come for you. Just wait.
Right.
You know, or whatever.
Right. Matthew Callahan, hey, thank you for stopping in. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a great night. Saying, here's the deal. She was engaged to Teddy, then the wreck happens, and then she becomes re-engaged to Wyatt a year later. It's simple. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and we're not saying that's not the case. Where you could be confused in regards to the scenes, what we see in the trailer, is when you watch the beginning of the trailer and you see Madeline Klein's character in the gown, they seem to be at a particular party that is very, very reminiscent to the engagement party, which is why there was some confusion there in regards to could the wreck be the same night as the engagement party? You know what I mean? But now that we've clarified that up, like I said, that opening shot where you see her saying, hey, everybody and stuff, and she's wearing the gown, I personally think that is the day that leads into the night of the wreckage.
Yeah, I think that's going to be like the opening.
Yes. And then a year later, that's where we see Danica getting, you know, re-engaged to Wyatt and all that stuff. But you're not wrong for thinking like what Destin thought. because when you look at that opening shot of the trailer, she's wearing that gown and she seems to be in a familiar setting that was similar to the engagement party. So that's why there was like some, like, I want to say confusion, but that's why there was the idea that possibly the wreck and the engagement party are literally the same night. Plus, Ava's character is wearing the same type of clothing at the engagement party that she does the night of the wreck. You know what I mean? So that's why there was, you know, those little things or whatever and stuff like that. But yes, I agree with this. Matthew saying it seems like an underground bunker cavern. You can tell by the walls. Yeah, it's something underground. It's something underground. And that's another thing too, is after the wreck, you see them meet up somewhere underground.
Right.
Which makes me think whoever this fucking killer is, it's one of the friend group. It has to be one of them. It has to be. It has to be one of them. It has to be. You know what I mean? It has to be one of them. And they even said it in the promotion. One of them is the killer. Who is it? Who's the killer? You know, I love it. I think they've done a fantastic job with the promotion leading into this movie.
Yeah, I just hope Stevie's better than I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just calling it. I think Stevie's the one or one of the killers.
Yeah, I definitely do think she's going to. She's right there on my list, bro. You know that we've talked about this, you know, behind the scenes. She is definitely on my list, but you know who's number one? Ava. I just feel like, bro, they're going to swerve us with this idea that the new Julie James is the new Julie James, and we're going to focus on her beyond. But I don't think that's the case. I think she's actually one of the killers. I have my reasons, and I'm going to share that in videos, you know, theory videos breaking down why. Because you have to, in my opinion, you have to have overlays and really explain it the way I want to, so people can understand why I feel the way I feel.
Right.
And stuff like that. Paul is saying, I know what you did last summer is free on Netflix. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Speaking of, and I do want to go back here real quick. So, Dom, what are your thoughts of this whole underground bunker? Do you think that in the trailer, since we see our new group of victims, so to speak, do you think that since we see the killer in a very similar underground bunker, that is the same underground spot that we see our new characters at, and that means that one of them is going to be the killer?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. You know, I think we're gonna find out that one of them is the killer because of that.
Right.
And it's connected, and you know, the underground bunker and how, you know, it's connected to one of the characters and all that. So yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's gonna be revealed that one of the characters is the killer, because they also said that one of them has a secret. So what if that secret is that underground bunker, and they're doing all their planning and stuff in there, and you know, they're planning to mess with or take out the friend group that they're a part of for whatever reason. You know, maybe they were related to the person that died, you know, during that car accident, or they're just trying to save their own ass and trying to get rid of. This is what I like the motive to be, is that they're trying to save their own ass and try to and get rid of and kill the friend group that they're a part of because they're witnesses. And what
Yeah.
if he's thinking, what if, or she's thinking, what if someone, or like FBI or a cop or something, or you know, federal, are going to come in, and then they're going to start asking questions and start interrogating. And they're worried that they're one of them or all of them, are they're going to break down, and they're going to tell them like, hey, like, this is what happened last summer, this and that. So I'm thinking like maybe that could be the motive, is that they're trying to cover themselves and take the friend group out because they don't want to get caught.
Oh, I like that.
They were all high schoolers in the original, right?
Yes, they were basically heading to college. They were seniors. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this one seems like it's going to be young adults more than high schoolers.
Right.
And I was looking up like the Wikipedia of all them. And they're most of the new cast is born 1997. So they could be doing a kid thing. Like one of them is one of their kids or something like that, you know? Like I mean, I know they did that with Will Benson but I mean with the dates lining up and everything, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just find that kind of fascinating that most of our new cast was born 1997. Like it's kind of weird.
Right.
I did look it up. Yeah, they're mostly born late 90s.
That's great casting, if you ask me. That's great casting to tie it into the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preston, I'm not trying to be rude, but you know how this goes sometimes. We get super behind in the chat and stuff, and I'm not scrolling back up, man. There's too many comments. You know what I mean? That's why I end up scrolling up to catch up with the chat, because there's so many coming in. You know, I apologize if I didn't get to your questions. If you have a question that, you know, you want to send in now because I'm caught up, go for it. But I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not digging through all these messages. It's too much. It's too much. Paul is saying, and Shriek, if you know what I do last, and Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday, the 13th, is available to rent or buy on Amazon. Awesome. Yeah, I've never seen that, but I've seen it, like, you know, on platforms and stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in years, but I remember it being a decent watch.
Okay. Might have to be something we do a watch party on eventually. Val saying, what are we talking about now? Sorry, got a text to shelter in place. 2 officers shot about 8 blocks away. Yo, that's sad.
Man.
I'm sorry that, you know, that shit's going on. You know, prayers and thoughts are out to those officers' families and stuff, and hopefully they're okay. I mean, not getting shot is not okay. You know what I mean? But hopefully they didn't, you know, pass from that and stuff. And shit just needs to calm the fuck down. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I will say, we're going to go like another 15 minutes here, another 14 minutes on the stream. I'm going to close the stream up at 2:00 my time. So 2:00 Eastern. That'll be 1 Destin's time and stuff, because it is getting a little late and Destin does have to be up for work. And I also have stuff that I want to get to after this stream and stuff. But this has definitely been a lot of fun. So I'm going to cover one more I Know What You Did Last Summer topic, and then maybe the last 10 minutes will strictly focus on the Strangers Chapter 2 trailer and share our thoughts and feelings on what we feel about the trailer and where we think that movie is heading and stuff like that. We've talked about it a little bit, but we're going to really like dig into it over the last couple minutes. Okay, so Tristan says, and by the way, why would Ava and the others go to Julie and Ray for help? Like, what can they do to stop this new Fisher person from killing them? Any examples of how they can help them? Well, it's the experience aspect of it. It's the fact that Ray and Julie know what it's like to encounter not only somebody in a fisherman's slicker, but they literally committed the same exact mistake that they did in regards to creating an accident and being the reason behind somebody possibly dying or critically injured, and they didn't report it and stuff like that. So with Ray and Julie's experience on dealing with this, it might help them figure out who the killer is a little bit faster and stuff like that. Because if you go to Ray and Julie for help, maybe their first piece of advice, it's the killer is the person. The killer is the person that you either ran off the road that night, or it's somebody very close to them to where it's personal, which is why we hear in the trailer Julie say, whoever's doing this, it's personal to them. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's why they go to Ray and Julie for help, because they have the experience. They've been through this before. This isn't the first time that Southport has witnessed such crimes like this because of this type of reasoning and stuff like that. So that's why they go to Ray and Julie for help. I also think, you know, if Ava's the killer, like I think she is, you know what I mean? She's obviously going to Ray and Julie for help because whoever she's possibly working with also has a tie-in to the past. You know what I mean? Also has a tie-in to Ray and Julie's past. You know what I mean? Maybe it's Helen Shivers' dad.
Yeah.
Maybe he holds them responsible for his daughter's death. Maybe it's Helen Shivers' mother.
Both deaths.
Yeah. Barry's parents too. We fucking forget about Barry's parents.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why they would be going, you know, to enlist the help of Julie and Ray, because they know what it's like, because they're the OGs. You know, they know what it's like to go through something like this. You know what I mean? So, but great question though, Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last thing about I Know What You Did Last Summer that I want to touch on before we zoom fast through Strangers chapter 2 trailer and more bits from that. The fates. Who all dies and who will live to lead us into the second movie?
Oh.
I'm going to say this. I initially thought that Madeline Klein was going to, well, I actually do still initially think she's going to be our real final girl. I do. I think that. However, I think Milo's a goner. I think Teddy's a goner. I'm up in the air with Stevie because she is a suspect for me, but I also think that they're fucking tricking us into believing that. I do. I think it's so 50-50 with her because we talked about it, Destin. There's a reason why they're featuring her. And I think it's because they want us to look at her as the killer, but then it's going to basically be she's the one with the secret, but she's not going to be the killer.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
Stevie could be a goner. Whoever those two fuckers hanging up, we already know the blonde girl in the flannel's a goner. We know that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So out of the main characters, out of our main group of newbies, I definitely think Milo, the two guys, Teddy and Milo, are goners. And if I had to choose out of the girls, Stevie is going to be a goner, and Ava is also a goner as well. Once it's revealed she's a killer, and they kill her off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, the ones who are surviving this one will be Madeline Klein's character. I think she's the one who's going to be the new Julie James / Helen Shivers type character to lead us into the sequel.
Yeah.
And along with Ray and Julie, she will live.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? What about you, Destin? Who lives and who dies?
I'm going to say this right now. I think most of them are all going to die. I think the only ones that are going to survive, whether they be killers or if they get killed by the killer, I think the only ones that survive is going to be Jennifer Love Hewitt, Julie James, and Ava Brooks.
Bro, you think Ray's done?
I think Ray's going to... I don't want it. I don't want it. But I think they might.
Bro,
I mean, I'll be happy if he is. If I had to say, that would be the third person. But I think what's going to happen is I think Ray's going to die. It's going to be a sad note.
My heart's breaking already.
And then at the end, I think that to leave it off on kind of a better note, I think we're going to see Brandy come in to visit Julie, and I think it's going to be one of those cheering moments. You know, like, girl, I came right when I heard the news, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know, and that'll lead into the second movie.
Man, I agree with you on that Brandy bit, bro. I think that would be the perfect way to reintroduce Carla, and that you're going to have her featured more in the second one. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. What say you, Dom? Who lives and who dies?
If everyone's a suspect, everyone dies. No. um, I would say I think it's the opposite. I think Ray's gonna survive and Julie's a goner.
Ooh.
Mm.
Woo!
Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought that too, Dom. I was like, man, they could do that. They could be really bold. And I heard that Jennifer Love Hewitt there was a little bit of drama on set with Jennifer Love Hewitt, and because I think she was just trying to control certain things because she thought she was the star a little bit,
Mhm.
and they might do that. That might be part of her bothersome is what they're doing with the character. They might actually kill her off and let Ray survive. It might be Ray and Ava.
Ray and Ava.
Man.
Yep.
Oh man, I
And
like
then
that. That's
and
a
they
swerve. Nobody would see Julie dying coming, in my opinion.
yeah, and then um wouldn't it be kind of crazy if there's a funeral, and that's where we see Brandy, and Brandy comes up to Ray and says, "Good old Ray," like she said to him,
Oh,
or Ray always saved the day, or something like that.
yeah. Wow. Damn. That's interesting, man. I feel like this. I mean, my thing is this. If they kill Julie James off, it's not a bad idea because you're trying to move on to new characters anyway. I just feel like if they do that, they also miss out on a tremendous opportunity that maybe after you're done focusing on these other characters, you focus on Julie one last time. Bro, I want one I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. It don't have to be this one or the next one, but maybe even the third one. If it does well enough to where we focus on Julie James specifically again and these demons of her past.
Right.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And I think that's another thing that's interesting in regards to this new movie is are they going to touch on the fact of Ray and Julie lying to the authorities?
Right.
I'm so fascinated to see if that's going to come into play in this movie, and especially in regards to the killer's reveal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to see, but that's a hell of a gamble right there, Dom. Like, woo, you killed my girl, man. Oh,
I mean, the way I really want it to go down is I want Julie and Ray to survive in the next one, and then Brandy comes in, and all three of them are like the main lead for the next one.
I like that.
What I want.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a brilliant fucking idea, man. Like I do. I've always, and we've talked about it before, Destin. We kind of share the same feelings on it. We kind of want to see a legacy sequel where we focus on these three again after the events of the second one. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that for sure. I like that.
They do need to talk about Julie's nightmares, because that's one thing she did have was her nightmares, especially like even in the second one when she was in the confession booth.
Yep.
And then at the end, like maybe her trauma, she just couldn't. It just kind of destroyed her and Ray. They were like better off, separated or something.
Right.
I would like this one to like rekindle it and like they be the main leads in the next one.
Right. I agree. I want to see a happy ending for them too. That's why I don't want to see either one of them die. I don't. I feel like if either one of them dies, it still is a little bit too close to Scream 5.
Yeah, it is. It would be. The only thing is like either one of them could go or both of them could go, just because they're not really the biggest star power these days. You know what I mean?
They're not. You know what I mean? And plus, Freddie, his schedule, like, because he does like a lot of wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He does like a lot of wrestling shows, and I know he has a podcast, like a wrestling podcast. So like Freddie keeps himself busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't, bro, if they kill both of them off, you talk about fucking big cojones.
Oh, they're gonna piss everybody off.
You ain't gonna piss, if you do it right, you ain't gonna piss me off because I appreciate the fact, because we say this, you know what I mean? It happens too often in horror movies. You're too fucking chicken shit to pull the fucking trigger and kill the fucking characters that everybody loves, especially the main characters. When sometimes you need to do that in order to freshen shit up. Sometimes you need to do that. Friday the 13th didn't have a problem doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it for that. I love the second Friday the 13th because of that. You know what I mean? Because it shows like we're willing to take risks while also building new characters that you guys can like and follow until we decide to fucking get rid of them too.
Yep.
Like, that's how you keep shit fresh, if you ask me, and stuff. Now, I know I said we was going to close up at 2. I'm going to go like an extra 5 minutes because I do want to touch on some more Stranger stuff or whatnot before we head out for tonight. So in regards to the Strangers Chapter 2 trailer, based on what we've seen, we've talked about the Halloween vibes. We talked about, the Halloween 2, Halloween 6 vibes and stuff.
Yeah.
How much of the town folk of where this place they're at in Oregon, how many of these people do you think are involved with the actual Strangers? Do you think these people, like, they know about the Strangers, but do you think this is like a cult-like thing? Like, in regards to the town folk? Or do you think the town folk is trying to hunt these motherfuckers down so they can find out who they are? Because maybe some of the town folk have lost family members because of the Strangers.
Yeah. I think the second part more. At first, I thought maybe it's going to be a cult thing, and it still could be sort of a cult thing. But everybody at the diner and all that kind of stuff, I think they're just there for creep factor, and they're actually trying to figure out who this is. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't think the entire town's like in on it.
Right.
I did it first, but after seeing the second trailer, I don't think so.
Right. I'm right there with you. I think that they want to share that illusion that they are, you know what I mean? But subsequently, this is basically like kind of like Halloween Kills, where the town is going after the fucking killer.
Yeah.
And they're trying to hunt down this killer because, or in this case, these killers, because these killers have brought so much pain and devastation to this small town with their fucking brutal murders and stuff like that. I genuinely feel like that car scene where she's seeing the smiley faces on her neck, I genuinely feel like those are illusions, because right after that, you see some of those people that she's driving with faces turn into the Strangers' faces to their masks.
Right,
and stuff
right.
like that. So, man, I think it's
just
an
trauma.
dynamic. Yes,
I think
that
it'll be like she just doesn't trust anybody because of what just happened, and then on top of it, like let's say there is a tattoo on the neck, like she sees it as a smiley face, but later on he still has that tattoo, but it's something completely different, and she sees it in its real form later on in the movie. It's like, oh wait, he's not the killer. It's not who I thought it was. He's actually trying to help me.
Hell yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. He is creepy. He does give me, some vibes, but I feel like that guy that's mainly like with her that we see, I got a feeling, I want to say they're going to end up together, but I definitely think he's trying to help her. Now, and Dom, I'll start this off with you. How fascinating do you think it is that she gets taken back to the house?
Oh,
But Dom didn't see Strangers Chapter 1. Fuck.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
I'm so sorry.
Damn it, Dom.
I'm
kidding.
so sorry. We're gonna have to do a live watch party so Dom can watch it so we can get back to that question and stuff, because I personally think that that's very, very intriguing why they decided to take her back to that house where everything happened.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll say this.
Unless that's a dream too.
I mean, I don't, bro. I think that shit's legit. I
Yeah.
really do.
I think that's cool though. Like that's like near the end of the movie.
Right. I'll say this. And we'll end it off with the strangers on this. Do you think the strangers will be revealed as some, like the three of them will be revealed as people from the town that we've seen out of the masks? Or do you think they're just going to play into that throughout this whole movie, but the strangers, their identity will remain anonymous?
Man, that's a good question. I think it's going to remain anonymous in this one. I think they'll reveal, if they do reveal that, it'll be in the third one. But I think it'll be like random people, like we've seen throughout. But I think it's going to be this person that was at the diner, and then maybe one of the cops, or maybe somebody we get introduced to in this one at the hospital or whatever. I just think it's going to be random, and we're going to find out. Oh yeah, that's my wife and that's my daughter or whatever. And this is
right. Wow. I'll say this. We'll end it off on the strangers with this. I know I just said that, but something just popped in my head. And I think we talked about this a long time ago, Destin. So I think I'm kind of like heat checking you here to see if you're still there with me.
Yeah.
The brown hair girl at the diner. Do you think she's Dollface?
Man,
Pinup girl.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Bro, I'm right there still. I think she's definitely one of the two. She is definitely one of the two. She's the one who dropped them off. She knew that they were going to be alone. She just has this vibe to her that fucking screams killer to me, man.
Yeah, Yep. She's the one that brought them there, everything. Yep.
Hell yeah, man. Like, you see now, Dom, damn it, all right, I'm going to have to put this live watch party together because you got to watch this shit, man, so that when we do another fucking conversation about this, you know what I mean, and you go back and rewatch the trailer, you can share some more thoughts on how you feel once you're caught up and stuff like that. Because, man, this second trailer for Strangers, this first trailer for Strangers Chapter 2 really, really has me intrigued in what they're going to do with this movie. I think it's going to, all those people who fucking gave the first chapter shit, I think they're going to regret that come this second time around. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're going to right their wrongs with this one, and people are going to look at it a little bit better and more accepting, and it's going to like up the ante too of like wanting you to see the third one. This is the one this is going to be the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy.
Nice. I like it. I like it. And real quick, I want to say what's up to Stella G saying, hey, all late to the party, just got home from work. Yeah, unfortunately, we are about to end the stream, Stella, but I greatly appreciate you stopping in anyway to hang out, and show your love and support and stuff. But don't worry. I'm going to be back here with another live stream here very, very soon and stuff. And hopefully you can hang out a little bit longer and stuff. But always glad to see you here, Stella.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it. And I am going to end the stream on this comment from Treston saying, I bet if Julie / Ray, I don't know why the hell I said slash. Okay. Those are commas, not slash. Treston saying, I bet if Julie, Ray, Helen, and Barry did call the police and took Ben's unconscious body to the hospital, he still would have went after them to try and kill them anyways because they almost killed him and hold on. Doesn't care if it was an accident. I'll say this. I think Ben would have killed them anyway, just because he was a killer. We got that established, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer with him killing his wife. So he was already a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
However, I feel like if they would have did the right thing, I think he actually would have spared them. I'll put it this way, because it seems to me Ben only kills if he has a motive. Like, for instance, when Estes or whatever, I think that's his name, or Costas or whatever, and I Still Know, Bill Cobb's character, when he was explaining the story, he said the reason why he Ben Willis killed his wife is because there was rumors of her being unfaithful. And then when he kills David Egan, why does he kill David Egan? Because he holds David responsible for his daughter Susie being killed in a car crash and stuff like that. So to me, Ben only really kills if he has motive enough to see fit. So I feel like if they would have did the right thing and they would have went to the police and basically owned up, to their crime, so to speak, I think he would have spared them, which is why he said what he said at the end to Julie, happy 4th of July, Julie. And she's like, I swear it was an accident. And he said, I know all there is to know about accidents, Julie. And one thing I'll give you advice on, when you leave a man for dead, make sure he's really dead. Like, I feel like that's him aggressively, in so many words, saying, if you were going to leave me for dead, you should have just made sure I was dead and killed me outright, did something else to me, maybe shot me, stabbed me, or whatever. But if you would have did the right thing, I would have spared you.
Right.
It's because of how they went about it. That's why he went after them.
Right.
That's why, I feel like Ben Willis is a character that you kind of you understood his motive. You
Right.
understood why he did what he did. It's like,
Right.
okay, that not only makes sense, but it's pretty. It's like if I don't know, like if someone gets run over and gets dumped in the water or in the ocean nearby, and they survive, they're gonna do whatever it takes to get justice for themselves, and try to get justice and bring down the people that tried to kill them, or dump them in the water. Just it's
Yeah.
just it's like it's like it's like when you do that to not to extent to kill them, but go to the authorities and be like, hey, I want this person behind bars, this and that. It's understandable, his motive is I understood it. It's even though I think he took it too far, I understand why he wanted justice, because he was unjustified or unjustif
He
he
was
was,
justified.
yeah, he was unjustified. And so I understand where he was coming from, even though I think he took things way too far by killing people that were not, especially killing people that were not involved in the whole accident that Julie and Ray and Helen and Barry caused. So I think he took us too far for that. But I overall understand it's kind of like Pamela Voorhees. She wanted justice for her son,
Right.
and she doesn't want the camp to be open again because she feels like it's going to happen again to another young child or kid at the camp, just like her
Right.
son did. So yeah, man, it's something you can relate to with a character like that to a certain extent, but it's not like Stu where he had no motive. It's like, okay, there's nothing to relate there because he has no motive. He actually enjoyed killing, and he loved killing, and he'll do it again if he had to, for no reason, But
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my thoughts on Ben Willis as a character for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I do want it to be tied though. I do want that. I mean, that's just me. I want it to be tied to Ben Willis or something from the original, you know. Um, I just like that extra layer. Like we got like a new killer, but we also got something that's tied to the original, you know. I see Paula said
Yeah.
in there, yeah, one of the friend group is related to Ben Willis, even though that they did do that, and I still know what he did last summer. It's possible or related to somebody else or something. Um, hell, it could be one of Julie and Ray's kids or something. Maybe Julie gave a baby away and Ray didn't even know about it, you know, or something, you know.
Bro, that'd be fucking nuts.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
But you know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, and I just hope that it works good. I just want a good movie. That's it.
I'm right there with you. Val saying chapter 2 looks on the line of Nightmare Fuel. Yeah, it looks very, very intense, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. And what I think is going to be really cool and beneficial in this one, we're going to see a lot of chase scenes. We got a decent amount in the first one, you know what I mean? But I think this one's going to be a lot more like elevated with the chase. And man, the way that the man in the mask looks in that trailer, there's like an emphasis on his character, and I really, really like that. You know,
Yeah.
I love those shots, the cinematography that we've seen. Rennie is a fucking master at cinematography, so I'm right there with you,
It
Val.
really
It
is.
definitely does look like it's on the line of Nightmare Fuel for sure. All right, everyone. So we are going to end the stream here right now. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys who came in here tonight and hung out with us for these 2.5 hours. This has been a blast. Honestly, it feels good to be back here with with all of you guys and talking some horror movie content and stuff. And again, I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys reaching out to me over the last week and some change and sending your love and your condolences and stuff. And I'm just happy to be back in the saddle and get this content out here for you guys and do what we do, and that's hang out here in the community together and have a great time and share this passion for horror the way that we do. But this is going to be the end of the stream. I'm going to call it a night. Stay tuned, keep your notifications on, and also check your posts because I will be setting up the Saw 2 live watch party. I'll have that stream put up, and I'm also going to have all these other watch parties that I've had, on deck before. We're going to get that out here and posted and ready as well. So until the next time, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I will catch you guys later. Get some rest. It's always great seeing you. So catch you guys next time. Love every single one of you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Take care.